In today's video, we are getting into something that Matt and I have been waiting to do for ages, and that is our Daggerboard cases. Not only were we really interested in building something so kind of like structural ourselves, because of course, we received the hull pieces and the decks from Max Cruise. This is kind of like the first big beefy thing that we're building ourselves. But it also has been holding up progress of areas like our fuel tanks and holding tanks, because until we get these in position and kind of know exactly their size, we don't want to use the space around it. So this has been a long time coming, and now that we're in this perfect Goldilocks zone of temperature where it's not too cold, because we do have this big 8-foot piece of glass that needs to be heated, but not so hot that all of our resin is going to kick on us before we can get on the many, many layers of glass that go on it. We're just at that right stage right now. So a lot of interesting things coming up in this, you'll see. But one of the things too is, my goodness, it goes through our supplies like crazy. There are so many layers of glass we're gonna have to use to make these cases, and of course the resin that goes with this. So we've just had to restock ourselves, which did put a pretty big dent in our budget, and which is also why we are so thankful to have the sponsors that we do to be able to keep us moving forward on these projects. And with that being said, we'd like to introduce today's sponsor. We would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Under Lucky Stars, who make personalized star maps showing the unique alignment of the stars in a place and time chosen by you. For myself, I chose to commemorate mine and Matt's wedding day, and shown on the map here, we can see exactly what the stars above us look like, as we were saying I do. It happened to be on a sunny day under blue skies, but it's still pretty magical to think about what the stars above us look like as we were sharing our first kiss as husband and wife. This was just one moment in our lives though. You can choose from any date and time in any spot in the world and know your stars are verified by a NASA astrophysicist. There are 15 designs to choose from, and every print comes on museum quality matte art paper, which means this could be the perfect gift for any person in your life. Whether you want to celebrate a child's birthday, your boss's retirement, or with your significant other when they gave you the accidental curly fry in the bunch and you knew that was the moment you loved them. Literally, the possibilities here are endless. If you're interested in ordering this personalized and memorable gift, as well as supporting the International Dark Sky Association against light pollution, you can get a 10% discount by going to underluckystars.com/MJSailing and enter the code MJSailing. We chose a common occasion in our life to celebrate, but I would love to know what experience in your life you would commemorate. Drop a comment below and let us know your special moment. After 8 years of the nomadic life, involving crossing oceans in a 34-foot Sabre, refitting an aluminum boat, and then taking that to the Arctic Circle, we're back at it again with a brand new build. This is Matt, and I'm Jessica. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and join us every week as we start our newest project of building a 42-foot catamaran from the ground up.
Well, as you can tell, this is not our Daggerboard case. This is a small demo. After going through the process of starting to cut out the actual case itself, the mold that's going to make the case, realized that it's been 6-7 years since I've actually done vacuum bagging, so I better, before I try to do 8 layers of glass at one time and frantically running around and hoping that I have everything right, I better do a small version of it first, just to make sure that I've got the processes down. So this is, give you a quick idea of what this is. This joint here is the important one. This is the hard part to actually get. You can get bridging over this if you don't have a proper crease in the bag. This is representing the part that's going to go through the hull, and so the hull line will be right about here. This goes above the water line, and then this is the main part of the case. Right on top of here is the lower bearing will fit, and then the upper bearing will be way down here. When we make the real one will be about 8 feet long, and what is that? 2.5 feet wide. But that takes a lot of glass, and I don't want to screw it up. So we're going to try it on this little guy first, make sure I have everything right. I have my 8 layers of glass cut here, and I set up a temporary bag, just a quick little bag here. Put the crease in that should line up right with this area when we slide this thing in, and then my back creases, and we'll have the same thing in the front here, so then we don't have to worry about it. Should be able to pull it down tight all the way around. Again, I am no expert on this, so this is not a tutorial as to how to do it. This is just me stumbling along.
Peel flare on top, make it all smooth and pretty.
Okay, I don't need more peel flare.
Alright, like you're decorating a cake now. Time for the vacuum. Let's give it some power.
Do, 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 do.
And vacuuming. Pretty cool, Johnson.
No, you do it.
Moment of truth.
Yeah, it's still got a full vacuum on it, which means I had a really good seal. It definitely sucks some in there. Oh yeah.
Do you want a crowbar?
I'm probably gonna need, oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, we had too much resin in it.
Okay. Next time we'll not wet it out so much.
Yeah. Well, there we go. That's fun. Yeah, normally we'd let this cure for a lot longer. This was just a test.
And we're impatient.
Yeah. Back insert. The way I did the mold is it's 2 sides, or the sides themselves, and then this center piece is stacked on top of here. So real simple, real easy male mold. And then this, I hot glued the sides onto the bottom. In theory, they should pop off fairly easy, but I wasn't quite counting on the resin getting in there, and there we go. There's our first molded surface.
Oh, yeah.
But the idea is this should be reusable then, so as long as I don't screw it up too bad.
I guess we just need to wax a little bit more.
Wax, and I actually need the correct wax. The stuff that my mold release wax isn't here yet. I'm out of it, so I had to use some turtle wax, which was not the right stuff. Yeah, we don't need a super pretty finish inside because it's the inside of the Daggerboard case. And it doesn't matter.
Do you want some gloves that make sure you don't cut up your hands?
Lame.
Lame. I told you I don't know where the emergency rooms are around here. The finger's coming off, it's staying off.
Worked well. Important part, this is, so this interior piece, it actually did glass that well. Happy with how that turned out for that curve there. So the bearing that the Daggerboard will slide in will sit right on top of this, press down on that, and then the Daggerboard will slide up and down in there. But it's nice smooth finish. It actually popped out of the mold fairly easy for using, again, the totally wrong wax. In doing kind of a half-assed job of waxing it anyway. It did pop out extremely well.
Nice and solid.
Nice and solid. So this is 8 layers of glass. And then if this was the actual Daggerboard case, again, we would be trimming it down right about here roughly. It ends up being a little over 3 inches wide total. So cutting that down, or actually 4 inches wide total, cutting that down and then bonding these two halves together and then glassing around that multiple times. Again, that gets a really strong glass there as well. I don't think we're gonna have any issues, Jeff.
No, you've done it.
No, with the Daggerboards cases.
Okay.
Not making them. We'll screw that up, definitely. Right there. So that is what happens when you suck in resin. And more right in there. Yikes. Yeah, we sucked in a ton of resin in this.
We may still be a few weeks away from the official beginning of spring, but right now the workyard is just abuzz with people coming to work on their boats, get them ready to splash hopefully in a few weeks and start the season. And the weather today is, I don't want to say like abnormally warm, but probably a few degrees above average, which actually works out really well for the project Matt and I want to do today, and that is to do the first mold for our Daggerboard cases. But now all of our fiberglass is cut, and oh my gosh, is it a lot of fiberglass. So much weight is going to be going into this, but we've got a perfect temperature, like mid-50s Fahrenheit, got a Saturday set aside. So yeah, we're gonna do the first full mode and hope that that turns out well. We're at the beginning stages. Matt is just getting the bag ready with the fuel tape at the end here.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Our table isn't long enough, and we don't have the ability to really get a longer table here, longer than a 4x8 sheet. So what we'll have to do is put the bag and actually wrap it around the bottom and put it to this, move this over that edge. So this end will be suspended, kind of hanging over here, and then we'll make the bag the rest of the direction so it covers all of that. Hopefully it works.
So our normal like workstation table here, we've cleared it off. It has the plastic on it, and we are going to use it as a wet out station. And then just sitting on our card table, easy access, are all of the layers that are going on in the order that they're going on. Mixes of like unidirectional going vertical. We've got our 45-45 double bias, unidirectional going horizontal. So many pieces of glass. And that is just round one, but honestly between the 4 rounds and I ran out of the double bias, our 12 ounce, we have to order more. I spent 2 days measuring and cutting glass, and that was like morning to night what I was doing. And helping Matt make steps to get up into our rebirth bed. You know, opinions matter.
The big thing is this is an old board. It is an uneven surface, ground surface that we're at. So the important part is making sure that our mold isn't torquing itself, the fact that it's sitting perfectly level. How I'm doing that, using the laser level here, and just to make it easier to see for me, the level's actually hitting on this point. And so all I gotta do is move this around. It is low over on this side, low here, low here. So the idea now is just to keep moving it around the form and the part underneath it to try to get it so it's completely level all the way around. And then what that tells me is it tells me it's not torquing, it's not twisting at all.
One of the last steps in prep, Matt, is putting a fabric over the top. I want to do a quick explanation on what this layer is.
This sucks up excess resin.
And quite the explanation.
Yeah, it is also going to help push down in this seam. This is the hard part. So this will help apply pressure down into that and make sure that our glass or the bag itself isn't bridging over the top of this.
We are all prepped and ready to go. Wish us luck, because I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult than it was on the demo. But who knows? Maybe bigger spaces make it easier to... We'll see.
Get this party started. I got the music playing loud. How you like my outfit? I have to say I'm kinda proud. I got my dancing shoes on, and I'm feeling dangerous. Let's get this party started. Yeah, we gon' be adventurous. We went to the club like we always do. This girl caught my eye, said, how do you do? She said, I am not interested, thank you. Then she left the room. Bartender, I'll have the usual. Give me the usual. I'll take the usual. I'll have the usual. Give me the usual. Another usual.
So within 1 hour and 20 minutes time, we were able to glass all of those layers, get them applied. So Matt is going through right now and getting our peel ply on there, the pretty total boat blue color that I love so much. And then we're going to cover it with the felt, get the bag over it, attach the hose, suck out all of the air, and then get some heat lamps on it as we let it cure. And as you can see, Matt decided to go a little avant-garde in his fashion with his Tyvek suit, you know.
Looking good.
Can't be normal.
So Jess was asking about this material. This is breather material. Its main point is to allow, you can imagine when the bag is sucking against this form, as soon as the plastic of the bag touches the form, it wouldn't allow air to flow anymore. So the vacuum would then just suck down maybe this area first, and it wouldn't actually spread through and get through the rest of this. This allows it, even with that bag compressed over that, the air still flows through it and the vacuum can be created. As I said, it also sucks up excess resin, which is kind of important for the way that we've been slapping it on. So we do have that. It does allow the bag to apply more equal pressure all the way across.
Down to just about that last stage. So we've got the bag kind of ready to go, and to keep it out of the way and resin free, we taped it underneath, but we'll just take it out of there and then kind of unroll it along here. But of course we're gonna have to get the butyl tape along the edge.
Picky tacky.
Get it tacky. Make sure no air is gonna get in there. And then we can stick the hose in and get all that air out. We now have the hose inside the bag. Everything is taped off. I think we're just gonna kind of like check all of the seams to make sure that there's no creases or wrinkles, which could allow air in. And then of course it's hard to vacuum that out. So, but we're almost there. We're almost at the like really exciting part where we turn on the pump and just like sucks it all down. It's my favorite part anyway. If we did it right.
Yeah, if we don't have leaks in it.
So you can see a few of the corners where we've had to tape seams in going vertically again, because we have those overlaps of fabric and we have to make sure that no air can get through any of these parts here. And then it's running along the edge here. We've got the hose coming in here. And of course we have the tape on both sides of that as well to just properly seal that off. And then the hose kind of comes around here and it has the fabric to make sure that it can like easily suck everything. Hopefully it doesn't get clogged with resin. That's what this little catchment system is down here. Because we don't want to be going through that issue yet another time, and considering this is one of 4 half molds and then we have to put the 2 pieces together, we can't be running through vacuums like that. So hopefully this thing works. Alright. There we go. Start to see it compressing through here. Getting tighter. Well, we just got a crack in our plans, and quite a literal one too.
That's crazy.
Our board cracked. Like you can see now a gap where the sawhorse is. This thing like literally sucked up in the center and cracked our board.
Yeah. I don't know what to do now. I don't know how to fix this.
Switching over from Gorilla Tape to our foil tape. But yeah, I mean, you can like see right there how bad that crack is. And unfortunately, until we can properly seal it, it's just letting air in, which means that this isn't compressing as much as it should.
Well, the other issue is I don't know if this is straight now. And I'm guessing when it builds pressure, it's just going to crack again.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that. Things are not level anymore.
There's a quarter of an inch difference now. Yeah, probably a quarter of an inch.